Why are you always there for everyone, but never quite present for yourself? Why do you keep giving your time, your peace, your attention to people, places, and problems that only take? You tell yourself it's love, you tell yourself it's duty, but deep down, you're tired. And it's not just physical exhaustion, it's something deeper, a kind of soul weariness, a quiet grief for the self you've abandoned in the name of being available. Carl Jung said, "Loneliness does not come from having no people around, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. You are not weak for needing space. You are not broken for needing boundaries. You are simply ready to come home to yourself." The world has convinced us that constant availability is noble. Answer quickly. Show up always. Say yes, no matter the cost. But here's the truth. Being constantly available is the fastest way to become invisible to yourself. You forget what you enjoy. You forget how silence feels. You forget how to rest without guilt. And the worst part? You start confusing exhaustion with purpose. You say, "They need me. They'll be upset. I don't want to let them down." Yeah, but what about you? What about your needs, your boundaries, your energy? Who shows up for you in Asia when you're empty? Carl Jung believed that repression leads to imbalance. When you repress your need for stillness, for solitude, for self-connection, you create an inner conflict. And that conflict becomes anxiety, burnout, bitterness. Then it happens. You stop responding right away. You turn off your notifications. You say, "I need time," and mean it. At first it feels strange, even wrong, but underneath the guilt is relief. You are not withdrawing to punish, you are withdrawing to preserve. Carl Jung said, "A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them." This is your inferno, the fear of being disliked, the terror of disconnection, the ache of finally choosing yourself. But you must walk through it, because on the other side is peace. Some will say you've changed. Some will say you're selfish. Let them. You are not here to live a life curated by guilt. You are not here to keep others emotionally comfortable at the cost of your own integrity. Your new boundaries will make others uncomfortable, especially those who benefited from your lack of them. But remember, the people who truly care for you will understand. They won't panic when you're silent. They won't punish you for needing time. They won't disappear when you say no. They will adapt, they will respect, they will stay. And the rest? They were never yours to begin with. Carl Jung wrote, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. When you withdraw your availability, you force others to face their own emptiness. Some won't like what they see. That's not your problem. Now something beautiful begins. In the silence, you hear your thoughts again. In the pause, you remember what you love. In the space, you begin to feel whole. You're no longer chasing validation, no longer playing roles, no longer addicted to being needed. You are simply being." Carl Jung taught that individuation, the journey toward wholeness, requires detachment from the false self, the people pleaser, the fixer, the peacekeeper. Those were masks. They protected you once, but now they suffocate you. You are not here to perform. You are here to become. And becoming takes stillness. When you stop being available to the world's noise, you become available to your soul's wisdom. You begin to move differently now. You answer when you have capacity. You give only what you can. You no longer apologize for your energy levels. And slowly, the world you live in begins to reflect this new version of you. Your circle shrinks, but it strengthens. Your schedule lightens, but your spirit deepens. Your heart opens, but only where it's safe. You're no longer afraid to disappoint. You're no longer addicted to being liked. You no longer feel guilty for choosing you. Carl Jung warned, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." You are waking up to truth, to power, to self. You are no longer performing a version of yourself just to fit in places you've outgrown. You are stepping into alignment. And in alignment, there is no need to chase anything. What is meant for you will find you. Not because you're available, but because you're authentic. Soon you notice the people who stay are the ones who nourish. The work you accept fuels you, not drains you. Your life begins to fit your nervous system. You no longer dread mornings. You no longer fear silence. You no longer run from yourself. Your peace is not loud, it's not flashy, but it's real, and once you taste it, you never want to go back. So if you've been waiting for permission, here it is. Withdraw, detach, take space, say less, be still, listen inward. You don't need to explain, you don't need to earn your rest, you don't need to perform your worth. You were never meant to be constantly accessible, you were meant to be deeply aligned. Stop giving pieces of yourself to people who don't even know how to hold them. Let them go and watch everything shift. And watch. When you stop being available, you become visible to yourself, to your truth, to the path that was always waiting for you. This is not the end of your relationships. This is the beginning of your relationship with yourself. You are no longer lost in others. You are no longer erasing your needs. You are no longer apologizing for your presence. You are here, fully, finally. Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." So choose now to become less available and more alive. There is something you may not realize yet. When you stop being constantly available, you don't just change your own life. You give others permission to do the same. You teach through your boundaries. You lead by your silence. You guide through your refusal to self-abandon. People are always watching, not to judge, but to learn. The child who sees you rest instead of overextend will grow up knowing that love does not require exhaustion. The friend who sees you say no with grace will feel empowered to say their own no. The world changes not when you convince others to honor your worth, but when you quietly begin honoring it yourself. Carl Jung believed that healing ripples outward. Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but as you touch a human soul, be just another human soul. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be real, anchored, present, because your energy is a message. And when your energy says, "I no longer trade my peace for approval," that message becomes a quiet revolution. If this message found you, it's because some part of you was ready to hear it, ready to rest, ready to reclaim, ready to remember. Subscribe for more messages like this, and never forget, your presence is a gift. It does not need to be offered to everyone. Protect it, honor it, live by it.